Check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Check.
Check, check. Check. Check.
Check.
जरा सा तूफान देखकर घबराहट आपके चेहरे पर हो सकती है। तूफान को देखकर आपके पैर भी कांप सकते हैं, लेकिन खून में उबल रहे देशभक्ति के जुनून के आगे ये तूफान और बवंडर कुछ भी नहीं। जब मैं देश की हिफाजत के लिए रहा हूं तो मेरे चेहरे पर गर्व से भरी मुस्कुराहट और दुश्मन को खत्म करने का जोश।
Ladies and gentlemen, I request all of you to please take this moment to switch off your mobile phones and other electronic devices to avoid interference with the audio system.
मेरी आदत है। आसमान की ऊंचाइयों से दुश्मन पर नजर रखना और भारतीय अंदाज में ही जवाब देना दिल को तसल्ली देता है। जब भारतीय वायुसेना का सम्मान इस सीमा पर बढ़ता है तो सीमा गर्व से चौड़ा हो जाता है। जब मैं विमान में सवार होता हूँ तो जीवन झंझाट पर बोल उठता है। उस वक्त दिल में जो उम्मीद बुझता है वो ही काफी है दुश्मन को हताश करने के लिए। वो बोल उठता है तब तेरी नजर देश की तरफ होनी चाहिए, सीमा के दुश्मन की तरफ होनी चाहिए, विमान की चरण पुष्पक जैसी, और इरादा हिमालयों की चोटियों को सवार होना चाहिए। बस एक ही बात कहता है, नभः स्पर्शम दीप्तम। अपने दर को भी जोश और जुनून में बदलकर जो हौसला वायुसेना का जो बाजू आता है, बस उस समय दुश्मन की खबर नहीं होती। जब दो अजीब होने की बात होती है तो मैं अपने आप को भारतीय वायुसेना के जाबाजों के बीच ही खड़ा करता हूँ और फिर मैं यही कहता हूँ कि वायुसेना का जवान दिल है, बल है, थल है, नभ है, अग्नि है। वायुसेना का जवान आदि है, अंत नहीं है।
Come Sleep well, my mother. Sleep well, my father. Another beautiful dawn is on its way. Sleep well, my sister. Sleep well, my brother. There are still stars in the sky. Sleep well, my daughter. Sleep well, my son. May all your dreams be sweet. Sleep well, my motherland. While I watch over you from far above, I will let nothing come between me and all that I love.
एक लड़की हूं मैं। धमाकों से डरना मेरी फितरत है, पटाखों से छुपना मेरी आदत है। इस तेज रफ्तार में कहीं पीछे रह जाऊंगी, आसमान की ऊंचाइयों से घबरा जाऊंगी। नौकरी का वजन कहां उठा पाऊंगी? एक लड़की हूं ना, हार मान जाऊंगी। अपनी हसरतों को मारकर एक लड़का जन्मूंगी, किसी और की खुददारी पर पलके झपकाऊंगी। बराबरी के सपने देखूंगी तो तोड़ दिए जाएंगे, ख्वाहिशों को पर लगाऊंगी तो काट दिए जाएंगे। एक लड़की ही तो हूं, वो लड़की जो घर बनाती है और घर बचाएगी।
There's a certain class that hasn't signed up for the 9 to 5, that has a different idea of a daily commute and will only settle for a workstation at 40,000 feet. The excitement at work isn't about a game of pool. It's about landing at the world's highest airstrip. Here, the incentives are different. The Indian Air Force is not a job. It is a way of life. We are looking for the exceptional, the ones a cut above. Here, gravity and physics don't call the shots. And sound travels slower than you. This is a different kind of place. That's why we're looking for different kind of people. People whose body strength is second only to the power of their minds. For whom excellence is not a job, but a way of being, be it in the sky or on the ground. We are looking for an invincible team of invincible people. People who are a cut above.
Join the Indian Air Force to be a cut above.
A very good evening to people of Chandigarh. We are honored by your presence. On the occasion of Swarnim Vijay Divas of 1971 war, I, Squadron Leader Sukriti Singh, with Wing Commander Tigmanshu Dogra and Squadron Leader Devashish Solanki, on behalf of the Indian Air Force, extend our greetings to the beautiful people of the city Beautiful. Let me also take this opportunity to tell you that Air Force Station Chandigarh, which was formed on 1st March 1961, has completed an association of 60 glorious years with the city Beautiful. कुछ नशा तिरंगे की आन का है, कुछ नशा मातृभूमि की शान का है. हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा, नशा ये हिंदुस्तान की शान का है. It feels proud to say that Indian Air Force has always been ahead in upgrading its skills and capabilities. We aim to see first, reach fast, and strike where it hurts the most. And in doing so, we ensure that we protect our valued assets. Today, you will be witnessing astounding performances by Surikirans, Chinooks, and Rafale aircraft. Each of these assets costs at least more than 200 crores. As our nation grows, so do our responsibilities. So, as responsible citizens, I would like to urge you all to keep our surroundings clean and would request you not to litter the place with eatables. Flight safety in Air Force is considered as the most vital aspect. Any eatable thrown away will attract birds, thereby increasing chances of bird strike and leading to damage to a costly aircraft. Also, I request all of you to maintain social distancing. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing in front of you is the microlight aircraft of the NCC Air Wing. The aircraft is being flown by Group Captain Pandya and Wing Commander Siddharth. The National Cadet Corps is a tri-services organization including the Army, Air Force and the Naval Wing. The aircraft you see performing in front of you is of the NCC Air Wing, Chandigarh. NCC recruits youth from high schools, colleges and universities voluntarily. A girls' division was added to NCC in 1948 to provide equal opportunity to school and college-going girls. In 1950, NCC widened its horizon with the addition of the Air Wing, followed by the Naval Wing in 1952. With time, the NCC curriculum was updated to also focus on social skills and developing leadership skills. The NCC Air Wing states its motto as unity and discipline. The NCC Air Wing has been instrumental in getting more youth of the country to join the Indian Air Force. Since its inception, the NCC Air Wing has come a long way. The curriculum has developed from military training to molding the youth into disciplined, conscious and responsible citizens. The NCC Air Wing gives a chance to cadets and be privileged to experience adventure activities like microlight aircraft flying, aero modeling, paragliding, para-jumping on government expenditure. After a training of 3 years, Air Wing NCC puts you up for C certificate, which entitles you appear directly for SSP interviews, selection as an officer in Air Force, Army and Navy. In addition, NCC C certificate has a lot of value in civil organizations wherever you go for job interviews and competitions. The aircraft in front of you is the Virus Serra Whiskey 80 variant or microlight as we use it in Air Force parlance. This aircraft is a light, high-speed aircraft intended to serve the training requirements of Indian Air Force, Indian Navy and NCC Air Wing. This aircraft carries the designation Garud, which is name of a bird in Hindu mythology. The usage of lightweight composite materials makes it an ultralight or a microlight aircraft. The robust design further enables the aircraft to remain stable and quiet while flying through turbulent winds. Its maximum range is 1650 kilometers with a speed of 250 kilometers per hour.
दे सलामी इस तिरंगे को जिससे तेरी शान है, सर हमेशा ऊंचा रखना इसका जब तक दिल में जान है. Jai Hind Chandigarh. To commemorate our achievements through these 60 years and to represent the association with the city beautiful, we would like to take you down the journey of Air Force Station Chandigarh since the time of its formation. Starting with the early years of 1960 to 1969, Chandigarh Airfield was a civil airfield operated by DGCA until March 1961. The first unit to be raised was of the IL-14s and the second was of the AN-12s. During the 1962 operations, units of the Air Force Station Chandigarh provided logistic support to the brave soldiers of the Indian Army in the Ladakh sector. AN-12 also carried out airlift of AMX tanks to Chushul Advanced Landing Ground. The first supersonic fighter squadron of the Indian Air Force, equipped with the MiG-21s, joined the station in March 1963. From September 1965 onwards, Chandigarh became an important staging post for the Canberras for offensive missions both during day and night. During 1965 conflict, units based at Air Force Station Chandigarh carried out hundreds of sorties in various roles, including bombing, strafing, casevac, supply ops, recce and communication at Cham Jaurian sector of Srinagar.
बस ये बात हवाओं को बताए रखना, रोशनी होगी चिरागों को जलाए रखना। लहू देकर जिसकी हिफाजत की शहीदों ने, उस तिरंगे को सदा दिल में बसाए रखना। Continuing with the era of 1970 to 79, which was christened as the decade of air power. In December 1971, sensing the impending action on both the western and eastern fronts, Air Force Station Chandigarh played a significant role as a forward staging post for Canberras for striking deep inside enemy territory. As the war progressed, AN-12 proved its mettle in their role of carpet bombing on the Western Front. The innovative use of AN-12 in the bombing role caught the enemy by surprise and reaped magnificent results. The mass para-air assault by different types of transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force, that is AN-12s, C-119s, Caribous and Dakotas, some of which were based out of Chandigarh in the famous Tangel drop, hastened the enemy's surrender.
फना होने की इजाजत ली नहीं जाती, ये वतन की मोहब्बत है जानम, पूछ के की नहीं जाती. The era of 1980 to 1989 was christened as the decade of induction. The decade of 1980 to 1989 remains etched in the memories of the nation as a whole, as this was the decade when the famous Operation Meghdoot was launched. Operation Meghdoot was the Indian Armed Forces operation to seize control of the Siachen Glacier in Kashmir, precipitating the Siachen conflict. Executed in April 1984, this operation, launched in the highest battlefield in the world, was the first offensive mission of its kind. The operation preempted a similar operation with the same intent by our adversary, resulting in the Indian Armed Forces gaining control of the Siachen Glacier in its entirety. As part of Meghdoot, units that became part of Air Force Station Chandigarh had undertaken massive supply drop missions in the Northern Glacier, Central Glacier and Subsector North, going by the sheer magnitude of sortie launches and the loads delivered. As the time continues to tick through the magnitude of decades, change remains the only constant and old paves way for the new. In March 1985, AN-12s moved out of Chandigarh only to get re-equipped with the heavy jet Illusion 76s. I'm sure you all must have woken to the thundering sound of these mighty jets as they set course towards Ladakh and Siachen every morning. The sea of change continued to usher Air Force Station Chandigarh with its waves when in May 1986, the workhorse of the transport fleet, the AN-32s, also made Chandigarh their home. Keeping up with its name as the decade of inductions, Chandigarh added yet another feather to its cap of receiving and housing the world's largest helicopter, that is the Mi-26. 126 helicopter flight, christened as the Featherweights, was raised at Air Force Station Chandigarh in May 1986. In September 1986, the Mi-26 landed at the world's highest landing zone, that is Daulat Beg Oldie Advanced Landing Ground. The same unit has also been the forerunners in inducting the mighty Chinook helicopter in India. It has the unique distinction of being the only unit in the world to operate two largest helicopters, namely the Mi-26 and the Chinook. In the year 1987, Air Force Station Chandigarh was in the headlines yet again for its contribution towards Operation Pawan.
Continuing with the era of 1990 to 1999, which was christened as the decade focused on the North. The decade started off with an event that put Chandigarh on the face of the Indian map. The NBC, that is Nuclear, Biological and Chemical Training Nucleus, the first and then one of its kind in the country, was set up here in March 1991. Air maintenance and supply drop missions are the key for sustenance of troops deployed on the northern borders. The magnitude and the frequency of these air maintenance operations undertaken from Chandigarh rightly earned the base its name, sustainers of the world's highest battlefield. These missions are undertaken by night as well, thereby preparing for scenarios that might arise in case of hostilities. Towards this, AN-32s carried out night landing at Leh in July 1995. The times of Kargil saw many unprecedented events and many firsts. One of the mention-worthy firsts was when 126 helicopter flight was assigned the task to airlift BML tractors, ammunitions and squadron load to Avantipur. To achieve this, the helicopters flew by night in the hills for the first time after due deliberations and planning. During the period, the base was an active transit camp for thousands of brave soldiers of the Indian Army as well as Air Force who moved in and out of the combat zone as part of the manpower augmentation exercise to the J&K sector.
The era of 2000 to 2009 was christened as the decade of triumph. Even as the world advances with significant leaps in terms of technology and inventions, every once in a while a natural disaster strikes and brings the world on its knees. Besides guiding the national frontiers, it is during these times like the nation looks upon to the defense forces for help. In January 2002, one such natural disaster in the form of a severe earthquake hit the Kutch region of Gujarat and normalcy was disrupted in the state like never before. AN-32s and the IL-76s from the base were actively involved during the relief operations by airlifting relief material to Bhuj and adjoining regions, thereby saving precious lives. The Mi-26 helicopters' capabilities were frequently on display to the nation and the world, but the platform never ceased to surprise. In Feb 2003, one Mi-26 helicopter of the base swallowed one full Chetak helicopter, lost it completely in its belly and carried it from Arunachal Pradesh all the way to Sarsawa. The newspapers had a field day covering the event and nicknamed the event the kangaroo trick. The event of the decade that would stay in the memory of the base forever was in Feb 2007. It was on this day that the then President of India and the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, reviewed the Indian Air Force fleet at Air Force Station Chandigarh. During the same parade, 48 Squadron was presented the much coveted President's standards for their distinguished service to the nation. In May 2008, during the reactivation of Daulat Beg Oldie Advanced Landing Ground for fixed-wing operations, 126 helicopter flight played a stellar role by providing logistics support including inducting heavy equipment such as road rollers and leveling equipment. Without the support of Me-26, the Daulat Beg Oldie Advanced Landing Ground preparation would not have been possible. The year 2008 was a triumphant one for the station when an AN-32 also landed at Daulat Beg Oldie at an elevation of 16,500 feet, the highest landing strip in the world.
देश पर जिसका खून न खौले, खून नहीं वो पानी है, जो देश के काम न आए वो बेकार जवानी है. Continuing with the era of 2010 to 2019, which was christened as the decade of heavy lift. Air Force Station Chandigarh continued to be the center stage for the transport and supply operations in the northern sector. Humanitarian and relief operations were carried out in full zeal, the first of the decade being the relief operations carried out by the AN-32s to lay advanced landing ground when the flash floods struck the Ladakh region. It was in February 2012 when IL-76 undertook a stupendous first of its kind operation when the task of positioning 7 aircraft with full load in one go at Leh and achieved it. In January 2013, the IL-76, also known as the Mighty Jets, broke their own record of the previous year by not only launching 7 aircraft to Leh in a single wave, but topped it up by 3 more aircraft in the second wave. The Mighty Jets lifted a record amount of load in a single day to the forward base, setting a new record in its wake. HADR missions test the skill of the crew and the strength of the machines to the limits. Yet, the base continued to provide for the needy in times of despair wherever called for. Op Meghrahat in the spring of 2014 is one such example. The state of Jammu and Kashmir witnessed heavy flash floods and the entire state machinery was paralyzed. However, thanks to the HADR missions undertaken by the aircraft of the base, by the fall of September 2018, over 7,000 people were airlifted by the IL-76 alone in more than 100 sorties. AN-32s also contributed significantly in the operation by lifting casualties and relief material right through the operation and later as well. In 2015, during exercise Live Wire held between October 15 and November 15, IL-76 carried out heavy drops at altitudes of more than 10,000 feet and also participated in surge operations carried out throughout the night. IL-76 also participated in exercises like Exercise Vikranta, Exercise Jupiter Victor, and also Exercise Iron Fist. Battle tanks were airlifted to Dhaka when Bangladesh requested for some memorabilia of the 1971 Liberation War, which were with the Indian government in September 2017. In the year 2018, just when it was thought that the IL-76 fleet has become a legacy fleet and is beleaguered with maintenance issues, the Mighty Jets responded through exercise Gagan Shakti. The fleet lifted whopping amounts of load and clocked hours that would stand in history as unmatched and unbeatable. The fleet was the most important tool for staging of the exercise and also when the theatre of the battle had to be shifted from the Western Front to the Eastern. Another important event of the year 2019 was the biofuel trials that were carried out on AN-32s. The trials were successful and the success was attested with the trials being carried out from high elevation bases like Leh. 2019 was also a significant year for the base as it was the year of the Chinook's induction. The first aircraft was flown from Mundra Port to Chandigarh in the month of February 2019.
Music let me go. If this night is not forever, at least we are together. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Anywhere, whenever, apart but still together. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor of Haryana has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Governor of Punjab has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem. देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सबसे निवेदन है सभी राष्ट्रगान के लिए अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं। On behalf of Indian Air Force, we welcome the Honorable Governor of Punjab, Shri Banwari Lal Purohit, Honorable Governor of Haryana, Shri Bandaru Dattatreya, Honorable Governor of Himachal Pradesh, Shri Rajendra Vishwanath, on this occasion of Swarnim Vijay Divas of 1971 war. This air show is being done in the city beautiful over Sukhna Lake. Amongst us are present General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Command, Lieutenant General R.P. Singh, Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal. Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Air Command, Air Marshal P.R. Krishna, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Shaurya Chakra. And Senior Air Staff Officer, Western Air Command, Air Marshal Vikram Singh, Vishisht Seva Medal. We are here to celebrate the contribution of our armed forces and the stellar role played by them in surrendering our enemy in less than 2 weeks. This is also an occasion to celebrate the association of Indian Air Force with City Beautiful as Air Force Station Chandigarh completes its 60 years of existence. In today's show, you shall be witnessing breathtaking display by Indian Air Force Surya Kiran Aerobatics team, followed by display of Chinooks with Garuds and high-speed passes by state-of-the-art Rafale aircraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you all must have seen the movie Rambo, have you? Otherwise, I'm sure Bollywood की Commando 1, 2, 3 तो देखी ही होगी आप लोगों ने. Well, for your information today, we have our own real-life Rambos and Commandos carrying out a daredevil mission here, right in front of you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Next, in today's series of events, we have a joint operation being carried out by the valiant Garud Commandos of the Indian Air Force along with the newly inducted Chinook helicopter. The Garuds are the special forces of the Indian Air Force and have a mandate to perform niche special operation tasks for the Indian Air Force in own territory as well as behind enemy lines. The Garuds operating in today's drill are a part of the famous 617 Garud flight located in our own Tri-City and is one of the most decorated Garud units in the country. The Garuds would be operating along with the Chinook helicopter in a special operations mission. I am sure you all in the Tri-City must have woken up to the thundering of these mighty rotors every day in the morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these helicopters are also based in the city. The Chinook helicopter is a twin-engine helicopter. Today, the team from 6-1 Garud flight from Chandigarh will be displaying their ground combat skills in an adrenaline-pumping joint operation. Ladies and gentlemen, now look to your right and you can see the Chinook helicopter operating the lake in a special operations configuration. The helicopter shall now drop a rubber boat with supplies for the Garud Commandos. The Garud Commandos are now concealed and ready to take on a specific mission to destroy the militant hideout in the island which is located 11 o'clock to you at a distance of 300 meters. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chinook helicopter has now dropped a boat along with supplies. Look to your left as the Chinook carries out a towering takeoff to escape enemy ground fire. I would now like to draw your gaze 12 o'clock to the other end of the lake where you can see a team of commandos approaching the grandstand in a high-speed boat. Ladies and gentlemen, in actual case, the commandos would have jumped along with the boat from the helicopter. But today's case, keeping the safety considerations of the drill in mind, the Garuds are concealed right here behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, the boats have now docked. To your left, hold your breath. You can hear the sound of commando boots reverberating from behind you. These are the Garud commandos approaching the boats and will be now carrying out a high-speed insertion onto the island. Ladies and gentlemen, the Garuda on the island. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for the Garud of Air Force Station Chandigarh. And I cross in front of the dais, right in front of you. Let's have a big round of applause for them. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have an enthralling display of maneuvers planned by the Chinook helicopter. Gifted with the frame of a giant and the engine of the beast, the Chinook helicopter is a state-of-the-art platform inducted into the Indian Air Force in March 2019. In the Tri-City, the helicopter is operated by the one. In today's demonstration, the Chinook would be flown at ultra-low levels, giving you a flavor of the maneuverability and the capability that this unconventional machine brings to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, look to your right as we see the Chinook Manish Gulia and Wing Commander Rahul Sharma, along with Warrant Officer Amit Kumar as the crew chief, Junior Warrant Officer PK Gupta and Sergeant Amit as the flight engineers. The helicopter is approaching the center of the lake in, is that sideward flight? I've never...
Your body's poetry, speaks to me. Won't you let me be your your body got it started, it'll never end. Feel my rhythm in your system, this is living, I'm your only friend. Feel the beat in your chest, reach your chest like an animal. Free the beast from its cage, free the rage like an animal. Your body's poetry, speak to me. Won't you let me be your rhythm tonight? Move your body, move your body. I wanna be your muse, use my music and let me be your rhythm tonight. Move your body, move your body. Your body's poetry, speak to me. Won't you let me be your rhythm tonight? Move your body, move your body. I wanna be your muse, use my music and let me be your rhythm tonight. Move your body. Lost in your mind, I wanna know, am I losing my mind? Never let me go. If this night is not forever, at least we are together. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Anywhere, whenever, apart but still together. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor of Haryana has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Governor of Punjab has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem. देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सबसे निवेदन है सभी राष्ट्रगान के लिए अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं। On behalf of Indian Air Force, we welcome the Honorable Governor of Punjab, Shri Banwari Lal Purohit, Honorable Governor of Haryana, Shri Bandaru Dattatreya, Honorable Governor of Himachal Pradesh, Shri Rajendra Vishwanath, on this occasion of Swarnim Vijay Divas of 1971 war. This air show is being done in the city beautiful over Sukhna Lake. Amongst us are present General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Command, Lieutenant General R.P. Singh, Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal. Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Air Command, Air Marshal B.R. Krishna, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Shaurya Chakra. And Senior Air Staff Officer, Western Air Command, Air Marshal Vikram Singh, Vishisht Seva Medal. We are here to celebrate the contribution of our armed forces and the stellar role played by them in surrendering our enemy in less than 2 weeks. This is also an occasion to celebrate the association of Indian Air Force with City Beautiful as Air Force Station Chandigarh completes its 60 years of existence. In today's show, you shall be witnessing breathtaking display by Indian Air Force Surya Kiran Aerobatics team, followed by display of Chinooks with Garuds and high-speed passes by state-of-the-art Rafale aircraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you all must have seen the movie Rambo. Have you? Otherwise, I'm sure Bollywood की Commando 1, 2, 3 तो देखी ही होगी आप लोगों ने. Well, for your information today, we have our own real-life Rambos and Commandos carrying out a daredevil mission here, right in front of you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Next, in today's series of events, we have a joint operation being carried out by the valiant Garud Commandos of the Indian Air Force along with the newly inducted Chinook helicopter. The Garuds are the special forces of the Indian Air Force and have a mandate to perform niche special operation tasks for the Indian Air Force in own territory as well as behind enemy lines. The Garuds operating in today's drill are a part of the famous 617 Garud flight located in our own Tri-City and is one of the most decorated Garud units in the country. The Garuds would be operating along with the Chinook helicopter in a special operations mission. I'm sure you all in the Tri-City must have woken up to the thundering of these mighty rotors every day in the morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these helicopters are also based in the city. The Chinook helicopter is a twin-engine helicopter. Today, the team from 6-1 Garud flight from Chandigarh will be displaying their ground combat skills in an adrenaline-pumping joint operation. Ladies and gentlemen, now look to your right and you can see the Chinook helicopter operating the lake in a special operations configuration. The helicopter shall now drop a rubber boat with supplies for the Garud Commandos. The Garud Commandos are now concealed and ready to take on a specific mission to destroy the militant hideout in the island which is located 11 o'clock to you at a distance of 300 meters. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chinook helicopter has now dropped a boat along with supplies. Look to your left as the Chinook carries out a towering takeoff to escape enemy ground fire. I would now like to draw your gaze 12 o'clock to the other end of the lake where you can see a team of commandos approaching the grandstand in a high-speed boat. Ladies and gentlemen, in actual case, the commandos would have jumped along with the boat from the helicopter. But today's case, keeping the safety considerations of the drill in mind, the Garuds are concealed right here behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, the boats have now docked. To your left, hold your breath. You can hear the sound of commando boots reverberating from behind you. These are the Garud commandos approaching the boats and will be now carrying out a high-speed insertion onto the island. Ladies and gentlemen, the Garuds are on the island and are moving in to locate the militants. I'd like to draw your attention to the screens. Ladies and gentlemen, we have contact. The militants have been detected and have opened fire on the Garuds with their medium machine guns. Observe how the Garud neutralize the militants in a swift move and destroy the hideout. Ladies and gentlemen, the Garuds have now exploded their charges and now are extricating from the island. The unit that you see operating in front of you is the 617 Garud flight and is the most decorated Garud unit of the nation. The unit has been awarded with 1 Ashok Chakra, 3 Shaurya Chakras and 3 Vayu Sena Medal Gallantries for their extensive contribution in CI Ops and counter-insurgency operations. The Garuds are now going to exit the scene in the high-speed boats. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for the Garuds of Air Force Station Chandigarh as they cross in front of the dais right in front of you. Let's have a big round of applause for them. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have an enthralling display of maneuvers planned by the Chinook helicopter. Gifted with the frame of a giant and the engine of the beast, the Chinook helicopter is a state-of-the-art platform inducted into the Indian Air Force in March 2019. In the Tri-City, the helicopter is operated by the 126 helicopter flight. In today's demonstration, the Chinook would be flown at ultra-low levels, giving you a flavor of the maneuverability and the capability that this unconventional machine brings to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, look to your right as we see the Chinook piloted by Group Captain Manish Gulia and Wing Commander Rahul Sharma, along with Warrant Officer Amit Kumar as the crew chief, Junior Warrant Officer P.K. Gupta and Sergeant Amit as the flight engineers. The helicopter is approaching the center of the lake in, is that sideward flight? I've never seen an aircraft landing like this, ladies and gentlemen. I presume it's the beautiful Chinook trying to show off. She can definitely give the beautiful girls of Chandigarh a run for their money.
My dream is to fly over that rainbow so high.
Let's have a big round of applause for Group Captain Manish Gulia and his team. The game-changing modern marvel, the Chinook, is capable of performing transport operations, underslung, medical operations, airdrops, tactical insertion missions, and special operations like the one we've witnessed right now. I think kuch choda nahi is jahaz ne. Well, if it is an all-weather aircraft which is capable of carrying out all the roles under the cover of darkness. The aircraft also has the unique capability of carrying 3 different loads of all shapes and sizes hanging below the helicopter from its center right into the battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, a close look on the horizon and you can see the might of the Indian Air Force chopping the air on its way towards you. The helicopter is being piloted by Squadron Leader Arshad Abbas and Squadron Leader Samarjeet Path, along with Squadron Leader Siddharth Swain as the crew chief, Junior Warrant Officer Vikas and Sergeant Anuj as the flight engineers. The helicopter is in a unique configuration, carrying a triple hook underslung load from its belly, going right in front of you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now see the Chinook being piloted by Group Captain Gulia approaching from your 12 o'clock at a high speed. Oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, he's now turned and is showing you the aircraft belly in a high max rate of turn 60 degrees. Look at the ultra low levels at which the aircraft has now descended to. Ladies and gentlemen, the helicopter just displayed the capability to decelerate from a speed of 100 knots to 0 in a matter of 500 feet. This is a capability which is exploited the most in hostile terrain to ensure that our soldiers are inserted into the landing zone with minimal exposure to enemy fire. The helicopter is now carrying out a pirouette. The maneuver involves carrying out a turn around an imaginary point at the nose of the aircraft and requires coordination of all the limbs available to the pilot. I can see the Chinook is now going to greet all those who've come to see her from Panchkula, the people of Chandigarh. Can you see how the mighty beast is trying to show off? The Chinook is showing off by carrying out another pirouette for the audience towards Panchkula.
You wanna know how to make me smile? Take control on me just for the night. But if I share my secret, you're gonna have to keep it. Nobody else can see this. So watch and learn. I won't show you twice. Head to toe, oh baby, run me right. If I share my secret, you're gonna have to keep it.
The Chinook now approaching the center stand in a sideward flight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to inform you the Chinook can carry out all operations under the cover of darkness as well.
Think about your touch, think about your kiss. Feeling like a kid again, total lots of bliss.
Ladies and gentlemen, flying at such low levels requires extensive practice, mind and body coordination. While the profile might seem like a treat to the eyes, please do not try this stunt at home. Can you see the aircraft is now taking off backwards? I think the Chinook just doesn't want to turn away from the beautiful people of Chandigarh. I think she's coming back to greet you again. You all probably must have not realized that under the night vision devices, the Chinook has been observing all of you having dinners and partying in Sector 26 and Sector 17 on Friday and Saturday nights. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Chinook prepares to leave after a mesmerizing performance, I guess the flight engineer just cannot resist himself from wishing farewell to the viewers of Chandigarh. There, as he opens the ramp, you can see Warrant Officer Amit Kumar waving humbly to the cheerful crowd at the lake. Once again, let's bid farewell with a loud cheer. Let's bid farewell to the Chinook being flown by Group Captain Gulia and Wing Commander Rahul. Let's wave back, ladies and gentlemen.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check.
Just starting, sir.
A very good evening, Chandigarh. How are you? Can I get a reply to that? How are you, Chandigarh? Raise your hands. Can I get a response to that? How are you, Chandigarh? Thank you. Good evening again. We are the Suryakiran aerobatic team of the Indian Air Force. As we all know, weather plays a very important part in all display flying. The team leader got airborne today with his team, but due to bad weather en route, he had to call off today's display. However, the Suryakiran team will enthrall you very soon in the near future. Do not lose heart, as coming up for you next is the newest induction of the Indian Air Force, Rafale.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was a splendid performance by the Chinooks. The thrill is not over yet. In a few minutes, you'll be witnessing the newly inducted Rafale aircraft of the Indian Air Force roaring high in the sky.
The only thing I see is beautiful people. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. Oh, don't you know? Don't you know? Oh, beautiful. Don't you know? Oh, don't you know? Don't you know? Your life, the beauty's deep inside you. Don't let them bring you down. No, the beauty is inside you. Don't let them bring you down.
Chandigarh people, look to your right, hold your breath as the Rafale takes over the blue skies. The magnificent Rafale is flying at a speed of 900 kilometers per hour. The state-of-the-art aircraft is being flown by Wing Commander Tripathi. Chandigarh people, look above. Now the aircraft will make a figure of 8 in the blue skies.
you're gonna save the day, and you're hearing what I say, I feel you touch, a kiss is not enough. And if you believe in me, don't think my love's for free. If you're gonna save the day, and you're hearing what I say, I feel you touch, a kiss is not enough. And if you believe in me, don't think my love's for free. I won't take nothing less than
Ladies and gentlemen, the thrill is not over yet. And now the aircraft will carry out a beautiful vertical Charlie in the sky.
Everything seems like a city of dreams. I'll never know why, but I still miss you. There she's standing in a field of lights. I close my eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, music is the soul of life and the Indian Air Force believes in the same. I'm sure you all have seen and heard the enthralling performance by the Air Force Symphony Orchestra at the Rajpath during the Republic Day parade. But today this band is here to perform in front of you, the beautiful audience of the City Beautiful. The band is being led by Bandmaster, Master Warrant Officer Achutan OK with his troupe of 33 musicians.
The Air Warriors Symphony Orchestra, a center of excellence for the musicians, was formed in the year 2002 at Air Force Station Jalhali, Bangalore. The objective is to interact with the people and create awareness about the Indian Air Force through the sound of music and showcase to the world what they are capable of outside the world of martial music. The orchestra symbolizes teamwork, harmony, ethos, and dedication of an air warrior to his profession.
The orchestra has performed around the world like France, Italy, Germany, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. They have also participated in international music film festivals in Finland, France, Italy, and Malaysia. The orchestra, with its insulating performance, has enchanted the audience at home and abroad. This is the only military orchestra in the country which has been empaneled with the Indian Council of Cultural Relations.
With this, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Indian Air Force, we thank you all for sparing your precious time and being a part of us on this special occasion. Jai Hind. Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, the Suryakiran team will be seeing you in the future very soon. It is a plan to see you guys tomorrow here again. So do stay tuned to our social media and we will keep you updated. Catch us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook on Suryakiran_IAF.